What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of the WNBA Live Play-by-Play and Live Coverage. Second time, myself. I'm obviously Tyler will not be here with me tonight. We'll be covering the Dream and the Fever. The next few days will be some WNBA coverage for those who have not seen the streaming schedule I posted on the community post. For Sunday, should be a lot of fun for that. Actually, come for this upcoming. Well, for this how the season's going on. Well, that being said, the Dream coming at this one off a tough competitive loss opening week against the Washington Mystics, who even Tyler could attest to this too. Like, we have hopefully have expectations for not just for the Dream, but also for the Mystics. Couple of these teams in the Eastern Conference that really, I always see underperform as the way they did. Especially with the Dream, especially if you look at last year where they kind of just lived and died by the three ball, which kind of really didn't help them as much. But really looking at it too, in terms of the injury report, the ones who are listed out for tonight's game is Jordan Canada for the Dream, and then number 8, Sophie Cunningham for the Indiana Fever. So those will be the list of players that are out according to the injury report, and also what I had listed on my roster paper right on my setup. But that being said, if you guys are new, make sure you hit the like button, definitely hit that subscribe button. Be sure to ring that notification bell for all that good stuff. Obviously, get the scoreboard up and ready for tonight's ball game. Shout out to the 36 total people that's up in this biatch. So that should be a lot of fun for the Fever and the Dream. Anyway, so should be a lot of fun. There we go. Should be fun tonight. And for those who are for those who have kind of been around the channel for a long time, but I'll talk more on that. But look at the start lineups, still the same for the Dream. Played the last game: Alicia Gray, Ryan Howard, Tahina Powell, Brianna Jones, Brittany Griner. You got Kelsey Mitchell, Caitlin Clark, DeWanda Bonner at the 3, Natasha Howard at the 4, and then you have Aaliyah Boston at the 5 for the Indiana Fever, coming in this 1-1 on the season. So should be interesting. But anyways. Yep, so Sophie Cunningham and Jordan Canada, as they mentioned before, the only 2 players listed out for both for the Dream and the Fever, respectively. But yeah. What's going on, Daniel? What is going on? Yeah, ready for tip-off. And there goes Bryant. Damn, and now we got... Damn, already quick, too, from Kelsey Mitchell. They got Powell. And looking from Powell. Hands it off to Brianna Jones. Back off to Howard. Howard around the screen. Off to Gray. Gray for 3. A little bit strong on the back rim. No friendly bounce. No offensive board. And put back is good for 2. Courtesy of Brianna Jones. So now we got Howard, Natasha Howard leading the charge. Hands it off to Boston. Now to Clark. Boston with the screen. Clark, pull up midi. A little bit short. And there's Powell with the rebound. Here comes Powell. Out to Howard for 3. A little bit short of the front rim. DeWanda Bonner comes down with the rebound. And now we got Clark leading the point. Out to Boston. That's Natasha Howard for the floater. Short. And there's Jones with the board. Hands up to Powell. Powell driving it up the lane. Up. And we'll draw the contact. We'll go to the line for 2. Oh, wrong button. Stops the clock at 8:41. Clark will commit her first team foul, her first personal team's first here in the ball game. And the first and the 3-point play is good from Tiana Pow. And got Stephanie White entering her 5th season as a head coach. So now I got Howard out to Boston. Now to Clark. Picked up by tight defense by Atlanta. Clark posting up. And that turns over by Indiana. Here comes Pow. I'm sorry, that's Alicia Gray. Cross court out to Gray. Actually, back out to Pow, top of the key. Directing traffic. Nice down low for Brianna Jones. 7-2. Atlanta Dream lead the Fever early on in the first quarter. Clark now to Boston. No, to Natasha Howard. Here comes Boston. Back to Clark. Clark looking. Clark for 3. A little bit short. There's Alicia Gray with the board. Hands it up to Howard. Howard out to Jones. Jones for 3. Rims in and out. Clark with the board. And here comes Clark. Taking herself. Nobody home. I think Clark might be slow to get up. Here comes Pow. Out to Jones in the post. Out to Grinder. Back to Jones. Jones posting. We'll draw the contacts and go to the line for 2. Stops the clock at 7:24 on the clock. So Dream coming at this one 0-1. And then Indiana 1-0. And first for Brianna Jones. Rims in and out. And got Carl Smesko entering his first season as a WNBA head coach. And 1 for 2 goes Brianna Jones. So now we got Clark leading the point. Now here comes Natasha Houghton. Out to Houghton. There's Clark with off the glass. That was good for 2. And actually, we'll draw the contact. We'll go to the line for the 3-point play. Apparently didn't hear the whistle. So and Clark for the 3-point play. And nope. And Brittany Griner pulls down the board. Here comes Pow leading the point. Pow out to Gray. Alicia Gray driving up the lane with the floater. We'll draw the contact. It's going to go to the line. So 7 minutes to go here in the first. Now Pow try to put this up to a 6-point lead. And the first is good. Yeah, I will say Alicia Gray was just a walking bucket on opening week. Also, shout out to everyone who actually tuned in for that game with myself and Tyler. Because let's be real, the last few times we did any WNBA Opers were fucking god awful with the blowouts. And 1-2, and there's Boston with the rebound. Now we got Clarky. Now out to Natasha Howard, out to Bonner, who draws the contact. And so Atlanta will commit their second team foul on the. I will admit it's going to take me a while to get used to DeWanna Bonner in a different uniform. So 6:45. Clark out to Natasha Howard off the glass for good for 2. Devitt leads now up to 3 for the Atlanta Dream. Pow out to Gray. Gray looking back out to Howard on the wing. Howard to Gray. Gray looking. Gray driving to the basket. Hands it off to Jones. Brianna Jones, fadeaway jumper. Down it goes for Brianna Jones. So 11-6, Atlanta Dream leads here early in the first. We got Howard, and that's taken away by Ryan Howard. Here come the Dream on the 3-on-2 to Griner, and Griner will get fouled. And that would be committed by Aaliyah Boston, her first. So 2 free throws coming for Brittany Griner. And the first for BG. Down it goes. Leads up to 6. Now looks like we're going to have a quick substitution. Looks like we're going to have Pow Pow. And number 32, we got Tori Walker Kimbrough now coming to the floor for the Atlanta Dream. And the second, down it goes. 7-point lead for the Dream. So now we got Clark picked up by Gray at the top of the wing. Now trying to get some help out there. Clark thought about it. And Boston is saying Boston will get fouled. That's the third on the Dream. And it looks like Griner's going to take his seat. A little contact, but I mean, then I've got Lexi Hull now coming to the floor for the Indiana Fever. So now we got Mitchell. Mitchell, put the ice skates. It gets blocked up top. That was Walker Kimber with the block. Mitchell for 3. A little bit short. And it looks like Natasha Howard knocks it out of bounds. That still stays with the Atlanta Dream. 5:32. Now here comes Pow Pow leading the point for the Dream. Up 7. Under 5.5 to go. And here comes Kimbrough for 3. A little bit short. And there's Clark coming down with the rebound for the Fever. Down 7. Nice looking. Nice putback for 2. Courtesy of Natasha Howard on the putback. Now we got Pow Pow out to Gray. Gray driving. Gets blocked by Natasha Howard. Here comes Clark in the Fever. Nice pass to Howard. That is good. 3-point game for the Fever. Gray, she pulls up for a 3. A little bit strong off the back rim. And that is good for the putback. After Kelsey Mitchell took a bit of a hard shot. Clark looking. And that's going to be knocked out of bounds. Stops the clock at 4:22 on. So we have a quick timeout. Quick commercial timeout, that is. So far, it's kind of expecting, it's kind of not surprised of what I like to see from the Dream, who, yeah, I mean, look, coming off a tough loss on Friday night, against opening week against against the Mystics. Because let's be real, I have some hope for Atlanta. Coming from an Aces fan who, well, let's be real. After what I saw, look, I respect the Liberty, but for the love of God, I'm sorry, but I think with Las Vegas has to get their shit. I get it; it's one game, but the way how so far Las Vegas has been playing, really doesn't really inspire me. Like I said, it's one game. However, they are playing tonight against the Connecticut Sun, who are also 0-1 coming into that game, as well. Just hoping. Let's just hope it turns into a shit show, for lack of a better term. But But yeah, but looking at it from a whole, let's take a look. Let's take a look at the scoring updates. But as I should might as well do. Should actually did this really quick. Okay, well, yeah. Anyways, current scoring update between the Sun and Vegas. Vegas is kind of just taking care of business. So this is the only two games we got here tonight. Dream of the Fever is a 5-point affair, while Vegas is out now 15-6. So, yeah, that'll do it. Oh boy. Let's see here. Wait a second. All right.
Clark also added coming into that game, they were hunting mismatches, they were hunting screens, and even if their coverage was off, they were still finding a way to get stops. Now, over the last few seasons, defense has been for this team, but after holding the Chicago Sky to just 58 points,
yep, that'll do it. This guy looked like a dog water when the Fever played him. So it looks like we have on the floor for the Fever, you got Lexi Hall, Aaliyah Boston. Looks like Caitlin Clark still up on the floor. Now, see, take a look at DeWanna Bonner on the bench. Yeah, get a little shot of Lexi Hall for the side out for the Fever. Down 5, under 4.5. Now we got Boston back out. Boston looking. Hands it off to Clark. Clark thought about it. 3. Hands it off to Boston. The post. Down it goes for Aaliyah Boston. All right. Lead back up to 3 for the Dream. Now we got Griner. Hands it off to Coffee. Back out to Pow Pow. Out to Howard for 3. Short. Clark with the rebound. Here comes Clark. On a 2-on-3 fast break. We have to put the brakes on. Nice little thread to Lexi. Oh, down it goes for the 3-point play. So Lexi Hall with an opportunity to tie it at 15. And nice look from Clark for the assist. It looks like now we got Brianna Jones coming back onto the floor for Nia Coffee. Looks like Shator. Now we got Maya Caldwell coming on for Tiana Pow Pow. Gonna give her a bit of a break. And hold for the 3-point play. Rims it out. Nice offensive board. And let's see where the possession is going to go. So now we got Caldwell. Yeah, defensively. Out to Gray. Looking at the BG and the nice turnaround hook. Down it goes for Brandon Griner. Leads back up to 3 for the Dream. Here comes Mitchell. Mitchell driving to the basket. Up and under. Can't go. However, there is a foul. And that's going to be. And Mitchell to the line for 2. To Elise. Nice little baby hook. Or a nice little turnaround jumper. Man. So, Mitchell for the line for 2. And the first. Down it goes. 2-point game. And Mitchell for the second. She hits both. It's a one point affair here in Indiana. I got Howard. Out to Caldwell, looking at the BG. A little bit. That was a called danger zone. Alicia Gray for three. Down it goes for Alicia Gray. That's the first three of the night. Got Clark. And we got an offensive foul. We're going to get back the other way. Yeah. And that was going to be on Natasha Howard. Looks like a moving screen. Oh, that sucks. So Caitlin Clark's going to take a bit of a breather on the bench. So now we got Lexi Hole on the floor. Now we got 12. So we got Dantes now on the floor. Natasha Howard's going to take a bit of a breather on the bench. Up, down to 3 minutes to go. So we got Howard. Howard driving up the lane, off to Jones, back out to Caldwell, back out to Howard. Thought about a three. And Lexi Hole, we got a foul. And it seems like the Indiana crowd ain't having it. So BG to the line for two. And the first. There it goes. Leads back up to 5. Looking at the replay of the foul that was called on the floor. And the second for BG. Down it goes. Leads up to 6. So now we got Mitchell. Here comes Hull. Mitchell off to Boston. Boston driving, posting up, turnaround. Down it goes for Aaliyah Boston. What's going on, Arco? So now we got Howard. Howard to Caldwell, who thought about pulling for 3. Post up on Hall, hands up to Gray. Back out to Griner. Griner posting. Tough shot off the glass, good for 2. Now he's taking advantage of the mismatch. So now we got Dantes. Out to Mitchell. To Colson. I would believe. Yep, Sidney Colson. Dantes shot off the rim. Nope. Rebound by Caldwell. Caldwell leading the point for the Dream. Up by 6. Gray, open 3. Too strong off the back rim. There's Dantes with the board. Now we got former Vegas ace, Sidney Colson leading the charge for the Fever. We'll go around the screen, hands off to Dantes. Here, nice little hand up to Hull, and who get pickpocketed by Ryan Howard, and unfortunately has to foul with the buck. A transition take foul. Well, yeah, well, blowing up the handoff and pickpocketing it.
Ryan Howard. It looks like the officials are going to head to the table.
So now we're going to looks like the officials are going to try to rule this, probably see to confirm it to be a clear path foul.
Atlanta has not turned it over so far. Indiana feasted off of the turnover on Saturday. Officials tonight are Tim Green, Randy Richardson, and Jason Alabanza. Tim Green on the right, Alabanza on the left. You can see by Lexi Hill's reaction as soon as she did it. She knew she didn't really mean to do it. It just happened. And of course, Ryan Howard knew exactly what she was doing. And that transition take foul has been in the league for a couple of years. So too has the clear path foul, but just still be so instinctual, something you've done Really, since you've grown up playing basketball, create the foul, commit the foul, don't allow the layup, but it's actually worse to do it. So transition take foul is 1 in the ball, and clear path is 2 in the ball.
And I see a clear path foul according to the officials.
Take, stop the transition opportunity, a fast break opportunity. Clear path is when there is nobody between you and the basket, so that gets penalized with an extra free throw. In Indiana,
yeah, it's on NBA TV. There, Arco.
Yeah, I don't think Indiana has been able to get into any sort of rhythm yet. They turn the ball over. Atlanta's doing a really good job of getting on the ball early.
Looks like Ryan Howard to the free throw line for 2. They put this up by 8, and that free throw is good. And the second. Now it's an 8-point game. Now we got something. All right, here comes Tawana Bonner. Will take the place of Lexi Hall now on the floor. So try to get a little size on the floor. So 8-point lead for the Dream, who I would say, despite the, like I said, competitive loss, was impressive on opening week. Pow to Griner, who thought about a 3, tossed it out to Jones. And there's Gray. Tough defense by the Fever. Now to Jones in the post. A tough shot, good for 2. Now we got Bonner looking at Colson. Colson mid-range. Down it goes for Sydney Colson. And now we got Pow for 3. Short. And rebound going to the hands of Howard. Gray for 3. Down it goes for Alicia Gray.
6 threes in the last game. Ready to fire at all times.
So 31-20 here in the first. Clark, deep 3. Down it goes for Caitlin Clark. That's her first. 2, 1. And that's quarter 1 of the books. Not bad. Not bad at all. 1 second. Anyways, there you go. So far, not too shabby for if you're anybody that supports. That's the Dream. Anybody from that's the Dream part of the Dream fan base. Now the Fever, on the other hand, I would say got to get better on the transition defense. I mean, yeah, sort of through 1 quarter, but at the same point, definitely got to close out on the 3. Got to keep an eye on Alicia Gray and also try to guard the paint, which is kind of felt like I've seen like the Fever's kind of slow doing on certain possessions. If that makes total sense, but hang on, I want to make sure my Chromebook isn't lagging, so I'm going to try test something really quick. Yeah, okay, feels like it's lagging a little bit, but oh well. Oh well. What can you do? But anyways, we're in a quick commercial break before quarter 2 is underway. So, but yeah, not too bad. It's an 8-point game. Right now going to quarter 2. I mean, like I said before, my thing with the Fever, especially going to quarter 2, you got to make this adjustment: guard the paint, close out on the 3. Because you can't do that. A lot of times, that's going to really hurt you So it hurts you in the end. Most times than not. But regardless, not a bad quarter for the Dream. Fever, the Fever's got to step it up. The Fever do have to step it up. Anyway, so alrighty.
Off a historic 2025 season. Game number 2. Atlanta has a 31-23 lead over the Fever. The Fever have won 5 straight games against the Dream. They swept Atlanta 4-0 last year.
Now we got Pow out to Gray. Now the Jones in the post. Back out to Howard. Thought about a little pump fake. Howard on the baseline out to Pow in the corner. Thought about a 3, and she pulls up. And be up and down. That's another turnover. That's the first turnover by the Dream. So now we got Colson. And looks we also have who's 11. Now we got Brianna Turner on the floor. So I got Clark picked up by Howard. Howard out to Bonner from the mid. A little bit too strong, and Colson. I think Colson's going to let that roll out of bounds. Yeah. So we got a coaching challenge here, folks. So we'll see how that turns out to go. But shout out to Arku. Shout out to my boy Daniel Berry Sports for coming in. Like I said, first time doing this alone. Because obviously Tyler not in the right mind space to come with me, to join me. Tomorrow we'll be back at again tomorrow for the crap. Who's the Mercury playing? Give me a minute. Hold up. I have actually the roster written. The LA Sparks. That is the late night game, so then probably is gonna be me again tomorrow night. Sunday, yes, and that's gonna be the Aces and the Seattle Storm, which is a 6:00 tip off. So come by and hang out with me. And probably Tyler. So that's just not about it. Anyways, so let's see how this coach challenge goes after this commercial break with just under 9.5 to go. Anyways, though. Oop, no, it's not my soda can over. Anyways, though. Anyways. Looking at it. See how the oh boy. Yeah, scoring update between the Aces and Connecticut. That's an 8-point affair. So still got an 8-point lead here in Indiana.
has challenged the out-of-bounds call. This is taking a long time. Too long. Well, touch that last, or Brianna Turner touch that last. That is the question. As you slow down here, it looks like the ball is last off the fingertips of Griner. This is going to be our best look.
Yeah, it looks like that's off the hand of Griner. That should still stick with being with the Fever basketball. I don't know why it's taking so goddamn long to do so. Yeah, exactly.
Tim Green, the crew chief, talking things over with the scores table.
Yep, still sticks with Fever basketball. So, yeah, you ain't wrong on that. So side out for DeWanda Bonner in the Fever. Bonner out to Colson. Now out of Boston. Boston looking. Hands off to DeWanda Bonner. Bonner to Boston in the paint. Nice dump off to Turner. Rims off the edge. Here comes Pow with the rebound. Off to Gray for three. Short. Here comes Colson with the rebound of her own. Colson out to Boston in the post. And that's an offensive foul. Go the other way. And looks like and that was Ryan Howard actually took a bit of a shot. Yep. Yep, illegal screen on Colson.
If I was sitting at home, that's what I would be saying.
Yep. So now we got Pow to Howard. Howard looking out to Brianna Jones to Pow in the corner. Nice ball movement out to Gray. Alicia Gray out to BG. No, I'm sorry, that's Brianna Jones. Can't get that to fall. Put back. Nope. Offensive rebound pulled down by Aaliyah Boston. Here comes Caitlin Clark. Clark picked up by Gray. Clark thought about it. Three hands off to Turner. Nice little thread the needle to Aaliyah Boston. Got to put that up. And she'll call for the travel. Indiana commits their sixth turnover compared to the one for the Dream. And this is kind of what the Dream has been, especially this new new iteration of the Dream is going to do. Yeah, she kind of did walk. Howard to Griner. Griner out to Gray. And damn it. And Brianna Jones, she commits the teams first. Damn, that's So now we got Colson. Hands off to Clark. Trying to get a little help. Out to Colson for three. A little bit runs in and out. Coffee with the rebound. Here comes Howard. Up by 8. Howard picked up by Bonner. Coffee thought about a three. Back out to Howard with the pump fake. Picked up by Bonner. Howard drives with a scoop and score. And that's good. Now it's a 10-point lead for the Atlanta Dream. So now we got the Colson. And she calls off the basketball. So now we got Kelsey Mitchell now back on the floor for the Fever. And Colson's going to take a bit of a bench. And so now I got Howard. Howard looking up to, say, Caldwell, or no, say it's Kimborough, sorry. Back out to Coffee. Coffee to Gray. Gray around into Bonner with an up and under. Can't get that to go. And here comes a rebound from the Fever. Mitchell will have to put the brakes on. And Turner had it knocked away. So 6 with Indiana.
I think they got to get Kelsey Mitchell going here. I'd like to see them run something for her right here.
Out to Turner. Turner out to, oh, sorry, that's Clark. Clark driving on the baseline, not looking at the Turner. How the hell did she get that off? But the shot's no good. So now we got Clark. Now we got Gray. Howard for 3. Short. Clark with the rebound. Now looking out to Mitchell. Up and good. Nice little thread in the needle from Caitlin Clark. Now we got Kimborough. Back out to Coffee. Looking at the grinder and the post. That is good. Taking advantage of the mismatch. Clark deep 3. Nope. And nope. And it looks like Howard's going to commit her. So 3 free throws coming for Caitlin Clark. That's a double thread in the needle. And the first by Clark. That is good. It's a 9-point game for the Dream.
Atlanta's defense has been good tonight. They have been.
And free throw number 2. Rattles it home for. Oh. So now we got Lexi Hull. Now we're seeing Mile Caldwell come in for. So now we got Mile Caldwell coming on for the Dream. Same with Lexi Hull for the Fever. And for free throw number 3, all 3 free throws good. Caitlin Clark's already 8 points, 5 assists. And then Walker Kimborough turns it over, and that's going to go the other way.
Typically, we talk about her quickness on the offensive end, but there was an example of her quickness on the defensive end.
That's the 3rd turnover by the Dream. Got Clark. Clark, tough defense. We'll have to hand it off and knocks away. Oh boy.
Well, the last 2 players to touch it were Coffee, and she also took Bonner out, and now Stephanie White, who's already used the challenge, is frustrated because if she has to use it here,
why not?
that's a dangerous play, no question. And another challenge.
And we got another challenge by the Fever. Anyways, though. Alrighty. So while we have a quick coaches challenge, so the fact they had to take, if I had to say on that one, I think what had to be should be over. This one should be going back to Indiana's favor, that sort of thing. But anyways, what can you do? Alright, but anyways. Anyways, though. Thing for Jim Beam. Actually, let's take a look and see how my aces are doing. Because, good God. Is looking sluggish as they were against Liberty. Yeah, so it looks like Indiana wins both their challenges. All right. Yeah.
What has Stephanie White frustrated? She's had to deploy the challenge twice.
Howard, and she's gonna walk with it. God damn. It looks a lot better improvement from the Dream today than they did against the little four-court pressure. Now we got Caldwell, who's now on the floor. Caldwell out to Jones in the post. And that shot can't fall, and Tawana Bonner pulls down the board. Hands it off to Mitchell. Mitchell out to Hall. Lexi Hall looking out to Natasha Howard. Turnaround jumper, and that falls for the little baby hooky. 5-point lead for the Dream. Under 5 minutes to play. Howard. Kimbrough for 3. That is good. Yeah, SeatGeek. Knowing my goddamn luck with the Aces, good God. Especially last year with the damn blowouts. I fucking hated it. Clark for 3. Oh, just rims in and out. Pulled out by Nia Coffee. Now, Coffee now leading the charge for the Dream. Up by 7. And got Caldwell. Picked up by Clark. Hands it off to Jones. Hands it off to Kimbrough. Walker Kimbrough. That's another turnover by the Dream. Thank God. Well, yeah, like I said, close out the 3, guard the paint. That's my keys to the game. So now you got Boston the side out. So now we got Clark out to Boston. Boston picked up by Griner at the top of the key. Hands it off to Clark. Clark for three. Down it goes for Caitlin Clark. There you go. For Caitlin Clark, needs 14 points. Got Gray. Picked up by Mitchell. Alicia Gray now switches on to Hull. On to BG. Kimber Caldwell for three. Rims it and out. And Howard with the rebound. Up and under. No good for Maya Caldwell. Here comes Clark. Now they put the brakes on. Now I got to put the ice skates on. Float her off the glass. Nope. I'm going to jump ball at the 3:17 mark. And that's Caitlin Clark. I mean, that's the name of her game for Caitlin Clark. Create her own shots and start and pile up assists. Caitlin Clark 2 for 4 from three for 11 points. I could have sworn she had 14. Okay, so I guess 11 points then. Oh well. So we got. So now I got Gray going around, picked up by Boston. Now we got the mismatch. Griner turnaround jumper. That is good. Leads back up to 6. Now we got Clark. Here at the 3-minute mark. Nice thread the needle. Mitchell gets at the fall. That's back. Leads back up to 4. Under 3 to go. So now we got Gray. Out to Howard for 3. Down it goes. What's going on, Chad? Typical Howard, especially her rookie year. Always a great 3-point shooter. Here comes Natasha Howard. Turn. And now we got a jump ball at the under 2.5 to go here in the first half.
Seeing this connection a lot in the last season and into this year. Such a great backdoor cut, and Kelsey Mitchell.
I love it.
On a straight line.
Man, Caitlin Clark. And now we got Pow Pow. Out to Hellman. Back out to Pow Pow. Pow Pow to Hellman. Hellman thought, and that's off the fingertips of Brittany Griner. We're going the other way. So Nas Hellman turns it over for the Dream. So now here comes Brianna Jones now coming in for Nas Hellman. So both teams combined for 10 turnovers this quarter. 5 apiece. So now we got Clark. Clark from the mid-range. Down it goes.
Why'd they stop the ball? Why'd they call timeout? Talk about degree of difficulty on the shots.
Yeah. So now we got Gray to Pow Pow. Back to Gray on the wing. We got Griner looking. Hands up to Howard. Gray. Off the hands of Brianna Jones, but courtesy of Pow Pow backing her up. Tough shot for Griner. Can't get that to fall. Lexi Hull pulls down the board for Indiana, who is now down 5 here in the first half. Clark. Pick. And Clark turns it over. Now we got a 3-on-1. And no. However, there is a foul. Yep. That's a good point. So we got a minute 20. Jesus Christ. I want to keep hitting the wrong damn button on my damn other computer. So we got a $120. 5-point game. Sure. And the first by Howard. Now it's back, leads back up to 6. And both free throws are good, so the lead's back up to 7. So now we got Clark picked up by Howard. Looking out to Mitchell. Mitchell back to Clark. Clark for deep 3. Down it goes. That's Caitlin Clark's specialty. Got Pow. Spreading a couple defenders. Blocked by Clark. Nice looking for it. And now we got a foul. Looks like butt. Thing is, Chad, in the all season, they fired her because after a disappointing season, what they had last year, the Fever said it was time for a change, so they brought in Stephanie White to hopefully at least improve this roster with women. I mean, to help with Caitlin Clark, Kelsey Mitchell, Leah Boston, and stuff like that. We've seen a lot of some coaching changes, and some new coaching hires too with teams like Atlanta, Indy, Chicago. So it looks like Atlanta's challenging. So 51.4 here in the first half. Shoot, why the hell not? I mean, look, we can't hear the first what. I mean, it's kind of like the first instinct. If you don't hear the whistle, just keep going. Yeah. Let's sit. That's a good block by Gray, I'll tell you that much. Yep. Okay. Yeah, so the Clark to inbound. So now we got Hawley. To Clark. Clark looking. Picked up button. Back out to Boston. Thought about a 3. Steps inside the paint. Little fadeaway jumper. Can't go. And that's a little bit too strong on the back rim. Oh, my God. And that's going to be out of bounds. So 29.9 to go. We got under 30 seconds to go. Like offensive foul. We're going back the other way. Damn. Man, Talbot getting scrappy. Now we got Clarky. Clark to Boston. Down it goes. Hour for three. Nope, we're at the half here, folks. All right. Good old halftime. So 16.7 assists, 5 boards. And you know how it is for the first time in a while. I'll be back for a halftime snack. So don't All right, looks like we're getting back to ready to start the third. 17 for 34 for Indiana, 15 for 35 from Atlanta. Indiana shooting 50% from 3 for 6, 3 for 16 for Atlanta, who, well, I mean, they have to live and die by the 3 ball. So, I mean, out of all fucking things to happen and hit the wrong button on my goddamn computer. So, like I was saying, good. Just Atlanta, just it's kind of. I'm not. Well, I would say one of their biggest problems was having to rely on the 3 ball. I mean, they put. I mean, 16 attempts only made three. I mean, 3 threes. Not great. And about Cheez-Its. But yeah, so that being said, I mean, what else? What else can you do? Speaking of which, let's see. All right, so while we still have some time, let me check some college baseball action.
Given from Reed to Firefly. They try to eliminate Louisville. Look who it is. It's Ethan Firefly, senior. He's been one of the top relievers in the ACC the last 2 years. You see the same totals, but really it's the strikeouts. It's not walked about today.
Anyways,
starting with Lucas Ford. Good effort there by Frida to make sure that that one didn't roll back to the line.
Yep.
Knocked in the second Louisville.
I'm checking NXT a little bit. Not much going on. Like I said, we're gonna be busy with a little sports this week. And we're getting ready to start the third quarter. And the Fever found themselves clawing back with down 2. So leading scores tonight for the Dream, you got Brittany Grant with 12, Brianna Jones is 11, Brian Howard's got 9. For the Fever, you got Caitlin Clark with 16, Mitchell with 10, and then Boston with 6. Not too shabby. Clark trying to go for another.
Middle third. She's really good in the short roll, making decisions. I also think in the first quarter, Indiana went to a lot of sets where they had her. She was in drop coverage and they had some open looks, but they didn't.
Not wrong on that. That's kind of where, not say the downside of having a size like BG.
20 point, 10 assist, 10 rebound game on Saturday.
Yeah.
New assistants there for Stephanie White and the Indiana Fever. That's Austin Kelly. Free on January. A couple familiar faces there.
Anyways, Brianna January. You know what sense of saying this.
Offensive rhythm. How do you get back in sync on that side of the ball?
I think we just got to get to our off-ball action, be a little bit more unpredictable.
Look at a little thing, some words from Austin Kelly about the
Defense, almost half their points are coming
Hmm.
from Jones. How do you defend their big sound low in the second half?
We've got to it's all. We got to be big. We got to use our length. We got to be disrupt their timing on the perimeter to make those W a little bit harder to see.
Share attack, thank you.
Austin Kelly was an assistant with Stephanie White in Connecticut. Has come over
yeah, a little some familiarity.
Sidelines. Karima, of course, longtime member of the Indiana Fever, part of that 2012 championship team. Porter is the player development coach who has also come over from Connecticut as well. Austin Kelly stays here with the franchise, go way back, including the 70 White, who was assisted with her at Vanderbilt. Now that group is trying to build a championship contender here in 2025. 70 White saying this is the most talent she has ever been around. It's about that talent here coming together.
All right, so we gonna get this third quarter started or what?
Brilliant. I don't think she's a defensive expert or an offensive expert. I think she's both, not singularly one or the other. I think she's an excellent coach.
And now we got Howard leading the charge for the Dream, down up by 2. She pulls up for 3. Down it goes. Already coming out. Damn, already coming out with the 4th 3 of the night as a team. So 4 for 17 from 3 to Boston. Hands back off to Clark. Clark for 3. A little bit short. Howard pulls down the rebound. So now we got Gray back out to Howard. Howard almost had that poked away by Bonner. Howard. Turnaround jumper. Short. And Jones with the offensive rebound. And we got a jump ball. So it looks like it's going to be Brianna Jones. And I think Natasha Howard's going to jump for it.
Behind you, that they're going to be in the gap. They're going to help on the right personnel. They're going to call out the right switches. We can't let a player like Brian Howard see a big basket. She's too talented.
Ain't getting on that.
Brianna Jones
And Pow gets the ball. Howard for 3 again. Short. And Jones with the original offensive board. Good ball moving out to Howard again for 3. Down it goes. So leads back up 8. And there's Mitchell out to Boston. Boston. And then be on the floor. Be the first team foul on Atlanta here in the 3rd. So now we got Boston hands it off to Natasha Howard driving off the glass. Can't finish it. Now we got Powell. We got Gray to Howard. Howard deep 3 and gets the friendly bounce. And we got timeout by Indiana. Already 9 points in this quarter just by the 3 alone. This is a problem I'm really set about. Already having problems that the freaking Fever can't somehow can never close out on the 3 ball. And she's already torched him for 3 times already in this quarter. Don't make no damn sense. Make no damn sense. Look, I mean, I've never coached a thing of basketball in my life, but I mean, it would be nice to have an extra big on the floor to close out on the three ball. And having a small ball lineup, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And a lot of times, as we're seeing right now, that in certain instances, that small ball lineup has been killing the damn fever when it comes to the three ball. No. We'll see how. So right now it's back to a 9-point lead, courtesy of Ryan Howard, who former rookie of the year for obvious reason. I mean, this girl can shoot with the best of it. But I mean, look, I know if you're a Fever fan, I know you're probably kind of annoyed at this so far up to this point, letting Howard torture for 9 points in this quarter. I mean, what else can you really? I don't know. Let's just see how Caitlin Clark at Indiana can respond. So most 20-point and 10 assist games. Courtney Vandersloot's got 10. She's got 10 of those in 430 games. Clarkson has 9 of those in 41 games. And with passing Diana Taurasi. But here we go. Now we got Boston. Boston hands it off to Mitchell. Out to Lexi Hall. Back out to Clark. And that's turnover. Poor little decision. 2-on-1, and that is good for 2. Now the lead's back up to 13. Oh, my Lord. We got Russell. And Boston going to the line for the 3-point play. Man, it's not bad. Not bad at all. So, try to cut this to it and try to get this within 10. And for the 3-point play for Boston, hits it. Now it leads up to 10. The largest lead up to this point, or second largest lead. Because the largest was 11. So now we got Howard picked up by, looks like Mitchell, Griner, turnaround jumper, gets it off the friendly bounce for 2. So now we got Clark. And we'll go to the line from. That's the third team foul on Atlanta. 2 free throws coming for Caitlin Clark. And Smart with the pump fake. And the first free throw, no good. And 1 and 2 from the free throw line. And now here comes Indiana, and Kelsey Mitchell comes away. Caitlin Clark back to Mitchell. Mitchell for 3. Yes, sir. Nice little assist from Caitlin Clark. Now we got Howard. Now to Pow. Now to Jones. Back out to Gray. She opens for 3. A little bit short. Brittany Griner with the offensive board will get blocked from top. Now we got Clark. Clark driving. Well, had to put the brakes on a little bit. Has to pull it right back out. Kind of surveying what she wants to do. Clark for 3. Short. And Griner with a rebound. Here comes Pow leading the charge. Gray out to Jones, who gets blocked up top, and that's going the other way. Courtesy of Aaliyah Boston. That's the team's fourth. I realized there was a foul even called. So now we got Hull. Now to Boston. Looking to Mitchell. Mitchell for three. A little bit too strong off the back rim. Good job by Brianna Turner. Going all out. Trying to retain possession. Can't really ask much from that. We got Mitchell. Mitchell to Turner. Back to Mitchell. Here to Boston. Hands it up. Thought about handing it up to Clark. Posts up. Tough shot. Down it goes for Aaliyah Boston. Cuts it down to 6. So now we got Alicia Gray in the paint. Now to head to Howard. Howard almost thought about it. 3 drives. Hands it off. And that's taken away by Caitlin Clark. So good defense by the Indiana Fever. And that will be the 5th team foul on the Dream. There'll be 2 free throws coming for the Fever. Try to cut into this deficit a little bit more. That puts them in the bonus. So 2 free throws coming for Brianna Turner. And 1 and 2. So now we got Howard. Fever on the 10-2 run the last 2.5 minutes. Here comes Howard. Almost lost it. Jones to Gray. Gray looking up to Jones to the post and I'll draw the contact. Fever going to gain scrappy, kind of fight their way back. So it'll be 2 free throws coming for Jones. And the first is good. Leads back up to 6. And free throw number 2 for Jones. He hits them both. Goes back up to 7. So now we got Mitchell. Mitchell looking, hands it all to Turner. Trying to find an open one. And that's taken away by Walker Kimber. Gets blocked. Courtesy of Brianna Turner. Still Atlanta basketball. Man, shit. It's upside out for Atlanta. Now to Jones. Back out to Howard. To Gray. Now to Walker Kimbrough. Here comes Kimbrough. To Gray for 3. Down it goes. It leads back up to 10. Jesus Christ, I can't never fucking guard the 3. So now we got Mitchell. Nice crossover to Turner. She can't get that to fall. Walker Kimbrough pulls down the rebound. Walker Kimbrough out to Hillman, out to Jones in the post. Back out to Hillman for three. Down it goes. I got Clark. Out to Hole. That's a nice ball movement. Boston for three. Short. And we got a loose ball foul. That's going to go against the Fever. Again, I'm sorry, the Fever. Against the Dream. So, 2 free throws coming for Lexi Hall. Oh, my leg. And the first. That's good. And the second from Hall. 1 or 2. That. Yep. Gray. And we'll draw the context. Going to go to the line for 2. God damn it. Got my mouse. Son of a bitch. And the first by Alicia Gray. That is good. Leads up to 13. So far, the largest lead up to this point tonight. And the second. Hits them both. And now we got Clark. Down 14. So 15 for 17 for the Dream from the line, 9 to 14. So now we got Clark. Out to Hole from the mid-range. Can't hit. Boston with the rebound. Top shy. That's good for 2. So now we got Caldwell to Gray. A little bit of a pick. Out to Jones. Can it go? And we got a blocking foul, and that's going to be on it. That's the third. So the first free throw by Jones. That is good. It looks like Griner's coming back in. So Brianna Jones already 14 points, 8 boards, and nope, 1 and 2. And here we go with Natasha Howard on the board. Now we got Clark. Got some ground to make up here in the third. Clark. Now we got Howard looking. Howard can't go. Boston, nice little offensive board. And now we got Clark. So now we got a foul on the floor. Looks like they might be going against it in Atlanta. Well, that's the first. Under 3 minutes here. And she hits them both. So now I got Gray out to Caldwell and picked up by Clark. Here comes Caldwell in the paint for pull up. Down it goes for Maya Caldwell. Now I got Natasha Howard. Looking out to Mitchell on the baseline to Hull. And Mitchell actually stepped on the baseline. That's going to be another turnover by the Fever. 2:36, but kind of a little bit careless. So now we got Caldwell, picked up by Howard. Now switched on to Clark. Now we got Walker Kimbrough. Out to Gray. Can't get that to Foley. Fight for the rebound. And we got Griner in the post, and Griner was going to draw the foul. That's the fourth on Indiana. That was going to be on Boston. And this is kind of where Indiana got to chill, needs to figure out shit because we're getting out rebounded 10-5, overall 27-21 in the rebounding department. Tonight, 14.7 boards. No good on the first for Brittany Griner. Now we got Ryan Howard who's come back in after torching for 9 points from the three ball. And the second free throw, 1-2. So 15 points for Brittany Griner. So now we got Mitchell off to Clark. Clark, short mid-range, down it goes. Nice little pick and pop. Now we got Caldwell. Clark, 19 points, 8 assists. Walker, nope. No good on the three ball there from Kimbrough. And so now we got Mitchell. Mitchell, deep to the little mid-range, can't fall and fight for the rebound. Goes in the hands of Walker Kimbrough. Yep. So both teams are now in the bonus. So we got a $1:30 go here in the third. So free throw 17 for 21 for the Dream, 11 for 16 for the Fever. And the first by Walker Kimbrough is strong. So now Jones coming in for Nas Hillman. And the second free throw is good. So 72-59 here in the third. We got Mitchell. That's good for 2 from Kelsey Mitchell. Nice little pick and pop from mid-range. Walker Kimbrough hands off to Howard. Picked up by Lexi Hull. Walker Kimbrough for 3. And we'll draw the contacts and to go to the line for 3 free throws. Now the first by Walker Kimbrough. Nope. Breaks the first one. And it's time for the second. She hits 1 and 2. So far hits the second. And for free throw number 3, she hits 2 or 3 from the free throw line. So now we got under a minute. Mitchell off the glass. That's good for 2. And of course, my fucking goddamn screen's kind of. That 3 ball's no good. Rebound to Boston. But Boston's going to take it herself up the court. Oh, that's a wide open lane. Off the glass. Good for 2. So 74-65. Leah Boston, 17 points, 7 rebounds, 2 blocks. That's no good. Jones with the rebound, and she's going to get fouled. To the free throw line, go. And that's going to be on Leah Boston. Lord almighty. Yep, that's a good point. And the first by Jones, that is good. Leads up 10. Looks like we're going to have. We got Tiana. No, we got Thierry and Alicia Graydon coming in off the floor, or coming off the bench, sorry. Now here comes Nia Coffee for Brittany Griner. So both like Caldwell and looks like BG might be taking a bit of a breather on the bench. And the second free throw is good. He's now up 11. We got 10 seconds here in the third. Mitchell. Nope. And that's the third quarter in the books here, folks. Down to the final 10. So leads up to 11 for the Dream. If you're the Fever, I know this is going to put a sour taste in y'all's mouths, but going into the next game, y'all got to figure something out. Because tonight, it seems like tonight's not your guys' night. Because it seems like Atlanta wants to get back in the win column. Shout out to the 120 total people that's up in here. For those who want to, yes, we're coming to you live from YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. For those who follow me, need to follow all the social media that's linked down below, or check out the link tree. Check us out on both on IG and also on Twitter as well. Definitely hit that subscribe button for those who want to keep up with the YouTube content that me, myself, and Tyler do. And also, you want to guys hang out with the rest of the crew that we do for our wrestling watch parties and whatnot. Greatly would appreciate that too. Anyways, oh.
Fever basketball.
All righty. Man, got a little bit scrappy, obviously before half. Now it's been now Atlanta's been pulling away so far tonight. Again, like they did in the early in the first quarter. Now you gotta figure out how to get yourself out of this hole. You kind of dug yourself into. And here we go with Mitchell leading the charge for the Fever, down 11. And there goes from Clark. Hands nice ballman back out to Mitchell to Natasha Howard to Boston. Boston. Tough shot. Can't get that to fall. And Lexi Hall comes up with the basketball for three. Down it goes for Lexi Hall. You gotta love it. You gotta love it, though, from Lexi Hall. Try to get this team. Gray thought about a three. Hands it up to Howard. Howard looking around the screen. Hands it all to Caldwell. Or so that's Walker Kimbrough. That was good. Again, the lack of closeout or the lack of the paint protection. Caitlin Clark's already got 8 assists with 19 points, 3 of 7 from 3. So now we got Boston hands it off to Clark. And we got a kick ball at the 8:47 mark.
This is the kind of effort and the role that Lexi Hall has really relished in.
So you gotta love it too.
Coming up with a 50-50 play and a hustle play, and having awareness to know that she knocked down 47% from out there last year.
Now that Clark. Nice little behind the back to Boston. That is good. Now it's back to single digits. Deficit's down to 8. So now we got Caldwell. To Howard for a 3. Short. And Gray comes up with the offensive rebound. Picked up by Hull. Out to Howard. Back out to Caldwell. Out to Coffee. Coffee looking. Out to Jones in the post. And reverse that is good. Leads back up to 10. Can't really do much from Boston. I mean, you could, that three's, oh my God. Caitlin Clark for a 3. That is good. 7-point game here in the fourth. Jones for a 3. No good. And that is Boston with the board. Here comes Clark. Ari with the 20-plus burger. That's it. And that's still hanging with Atlanta. Not Atlanta. Indiana, sorry. I gotta love it. And Caitlin Clark just showing off her range. So now we got Boston. Hands it off to Clark. Clark from deep. Down it goes. That's a 4-point game here, folks. And we got a timeout by Atlanta. It's all about putting the team on your goddamn back. That'll fucking do it. Caitlin Clark, like you can't question that lady's heart, that girl's heart. Try to help to carry this team to a victory. Yeah, now 4, but to get out of that 10-plus point deficit to where we're at now, what else? You really can't ask for much out of Caitlin Clark or Leah Boston or how this Indiana Fever team has been playing. Yeah, granted, it's not the best basketball, but they're gritty. You got to give them that. can't take that away from the Fever. But I mean, yeah. Anyways, I had a quick little timeout from the Dream, who got torched. Oh, man. Anyways, though. Alrighty.
Transmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise used in any form without the express written consent of WNBA Enterprises.
Right within 4. Oh my goodness.
Impressive shots over her short time in Indiana. That is right up there with They're down 11 to start the fourth quarter in 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes. And 3 threes. I think the folks have an assist. Lexi Hall has one of those threes. And they're on 11.
So now we got Howard out to. And we got caught hand in cookie jar. That's the first foul. That's going to be on Caitlin Clark, and I don't think she's happy about that.
In situations, when we always talk about offense from a situational standpoint, from a defensive standpoint, they have mixed in the zone. They've tried to keep Atlanta off balance. They have failed to shoot it too much tonight. That's what
So 2 free throws coming for Jones. And the first is good. It's back up to 5. Son of a bitch. And 1 or 2. So 5-point game. So now we got Natasha Howard back to Bonner to Boston. Now to Hall. Hall looking to Clark. Clark thought about chucking it up, but said nope. Hands it off to Boston. Boston looking back to Clark. Clark. And can't get the shot off. So now we got Caldwell. So that's Kent Walker Kimbrough. Now out to Howard. Picked up by Hall on a mismatch. To Jones. And Jones gets away with the walk. And now got Clark. And foul going. So Natasha Howard to the line for 2. And the first. There's the fucking problem. Too strong on that free throw. This is what's hurting fucking. And the second. No, damn. She missed them both, and that fucking hurts. But now we got Walker Kimbrough looking out to Griner in the post. Griner, tough shot, and that is good for two. Poor switch up on the from the by the Fever. 17.7 boards, 2 assists from Griner. So Alicia Gray commits her third.
That's only 3 fouls. If I'm Gray, I'm staying up and really tight on Caitlin Clark.
Now I got Hall to Clark. Clark pull out to Boston. And Griner will commit the team's third. So it'll be hopefully should be a couple free throws coming for so 2 free throws coming for Boston. And the first by Boston, she hits it. It's a 6-point game. So far tonight, 20 points, 9 rebounds, 2 blocks for William Boston. Make that 21 points. So now we got Howard. Picked up by Natasha Howard. We got Ryan Howard looking in the post. He gives it to Gray. Gray, tough shot. Down it goes. Motherfucker. Clark to Bonner. And Bonner coughs it up. Oh my God. That is some. So now here come the fear, dream. And we'll take a timeout. Lord Almighty. Really? Well, I'm going to give a lot of credit to Atlanta, but Indiana, I think we're okay. So there's a few things that I think that's really hurt Indiana. Well, A is getting out rebounded is one of them, and also two missing your free throws because that's a lot of points you left on the board. Because this game, so much of it had y'all have been perfect with your free throws. That's just me. Well, maybe nitpicking here, but you got to realize too, these are the type of nitpicks that if I'm Stephanie White, I'm going to the drawing board. Getting to the point like anyways. Oh, boy. Make no damn sense. Well, But shout out to everyone that's been in the chat. Shout out to Chad, Key, Arco earlier. Shout out to Daniel Barry. Shout out to everyone that's been in the chat.
Our timeout is brought to you by Goodwill. The subject of our Indiana workers going to work features Caitlin Clark, who's one assist shy from another 20 and 10 game that would tie the all-time record in her 42nd game, and she's got bigger plans and bigger visions here tonight as Indiana's trying to erase a 7-point deficit with under 5 minutes.
Yep.
Good job offensively, moving her around, not having her bring the ball up and initiate offense every time.
Now we got Jones. Out. That baby hook's good. Hey. Now it's back up to 9. Lord almighty. Now we got Boston. Hands it off to Clark, who gets fouled. And that is the 4. Oh, and it's 9. What the fuck did I do that for?
She does such a good job of using the screen, running her defender into the screen.
So that's the 14th foul on Atlanta. Clark. And gets blocked. And we'll so stick Indiana ball with 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Looks like we got a half-court defense getting. Now here comes Kelsey Mitchell coming in for DeWanna Bonner. And Mitchell just missed us for the 3-point play. Try to at least cut this back down to 7.
I would expect some full court pressure here by Indiana if I'm Atlanta.
So Kelsey Mitchell for 2, and the first. That is good. Again with and the second free throw, both good. 7-point game. Under 4.5 to go. So now we got Howard. Now to Jones. Jones looking out to Gray. Now to Griner in the post. Griner taking on Boston. Turnaround jumper. That's fucking good. Come on. Boston, get your hands up. Like, use your fucking length. Ain't that hard. Now we got Clarky. Out to Mitchell for 3. Yes, sir. Like Kelsey Mitchell. Very nice. So now we got Gray. Has to put the brakes on. 22 points for Kelsey Mitchell on 8 of 14 shooting. Now we got Ryan Howard. Picked up by Clark. Howard, the pump fake from mid-range. No. Falls right in the hands of Natasha Howard. Here comes Clark. Down 6. Clark. I have to put the brakes on. Clark looking. Clark will have to pull it right back out on top of the key. Nice little dribble hand. Try to get a handoff. Step back 3. A little bit too strong. God damn it. So now we got Gray. Gray, she pulls up for a 3. No, that's too strong. And Natasha Howard's going to let that roll out of bounds. Under 3 minutes. Here we go. So now we got Boston. Sorry, Natasha Howard. Sorry. Off the glass. That's way off. I don't know. Where the fuck were you shooting that from? Howard to Caldwell for a 3. No, got lucky. And we got a foul, and that's going to be a line for 2. So 2:25 here in the 4th. Natasha Howard for 2. And the 1st. Shorts. Fuck. Yeah. And Natasha Howard for the 2nd. No, misses both. Oh my God. So Atlanta will take a timeout with 2:22 to go.
Clark, 25 points, 10 assists. Our forward, outstanding performance is Caitlin Clark. Well, she's taken advantage of what the defense has given her. I think she's been very patient using her IQ and skill set around a very tough physical defense. When she's been able to find separation beyond the arc, she's delivered. We showed you that graphic earlier. Caitlin Clark now with her 10th 20 and 10 game of her career. And that's his WNBA.
And Caitlin Clark has her 10th 25 and 10. Ties Courtney Vandersloot all time. Jesus Christ. 5'11" from the 3 with 5 boards in 42 games. Damn, that's crazy. I mean, you have to. I mean, now you just put fucking Brianna Jones on the line. Yeah, they did. Here we go. Here comes Walker Kimbrough. Out to Jones. Now to mismatch in the post to Griner. She's short. Oh, come on, ND. What are you doing? Fucking ridiculous, man. Inbound for Atlanta. Out to Gray. That's going to pull it right back out. 2 minutes to Jones. To Kimbrough. To Griner in the post. Taking on, and I think that's Natasha Howard. Turnaround jumper. No, that's no good. Here comes Clark. Under 2 minutes. Down 6. Clark to the basket. Yes, sir. It's a 4-point game. Here comes Howard. We'll have to do 16 on the shot clock. Howard for 3. No, that's it. And here we go. 4-point game. Clarky. Ball there for 2. Yes, sir. Hell fucking yeah.
The screen and the delivery. Griner in drop coverage and Caitlin Clark puts it on.
Yeah, Griner just fucking gave up.
The chemistry between those two is so good in that action.
So we got a 2-point game. 1:21. We're down, getting towards.
He has been fantastic, delivering dimes, 11 assists, and 27 points, and 5 triples in the game. The rookie. It's amazing.
Oh, my Lord. So 27 points, 11 assists, 5 boards. It's a 2-point game, 7-0 run. Oh, man, this is getting down to the final home stretch. So Ryan Howard to inbound it for Atlanta. Tight defense. Jones in the post. Brianna Jones, turn around. And Jones traveled. Oh, boy. Here we go. We got a $1.16. And we got a timeout here.
Turnover here. The right call.
So we got a minute 16. Yeah, Carl Larson in attendance for the Indian.
Saturday. I mean, think about the weekend. On Saturday, CBS, Liberty, and then on Sunday, the Indy 500
Oh, boy. Yeah, interesting that around. Shout out to everyone. Guys, make sure you guys smash that like button and hit that subscribe button. We're on the road to hopefully you're on the road to 1,600. And also at the same time, road on to 2,000 here at the Sports Markets Connection as well. Shout out to everyone who actually does come around with myself and Tyler's coverage of the WNBA. 2-point game. Here we go. You got another Clark. Because she put up a 30 burger. Out to Boston. Hands it off to Mitchell. To the glass. Off the glass and good for 2. We got a tie game here, folks. Under a minute. Howard. 54 seconds. 89 apiece. Here comes Walker Kimbrough. Out to Coffee. Out to Gray. Look at Gray for 3. Short. Rebound. Here comes Clark. Clark speeding her way down the court. From mid-range. Short. There's Hall with the rebound. Offensive board. 30 seconds. Oh, Caitlin Clark to Boston, to the cup, and we'll draw the contact. Or a little bit slower to get up. I love it, though. So, and the first, no. Oh, See, this is like I said. This is what hurt. That hurts Indy. It's the amount of free throws y'all missed. So now we got Bonner to come in for Clark. And the second, she hits 1 point game. Now it's time for tighten up defense. Under 20 seconds. Howard with Mitchell right on her tail. Howard, you got to play without foul, and she does. Son of a bitch. Yeah, you're forced to fucking foul. You can't do that. Yeah. What? So 2 free throws coming for Howard. And the first. Tie game. Those fucking free throws. Now we got Clark now coming back in with under 10 seconds. God, I'm Stephanie White. I'm getting these ladies in the gym to start working on free throws. And both. And she makes both. It's back to a 1 point favorite for Atlanta.
So exciting in here all game for Atlanta to have the lead the majority of the game, and for Indiana to be able to come back on it twice from a double-digit deficit.
There we go. Under 10 seconds. Howard. Short, and Indy fucking choked. So Atlanta comes away with a 90. Well, Indy. So if Atlanta gets their first win, Indy dating back to last.
It's the dream with 2 late free throws from Ryan Howard, and Atlanta earns their first win of the season. I thought Atlanta was physically tough on the defensive end, and that'll happen.
Yep, that'll do it. Fever. Look, can't hang your heads. But if I'm Stephanie White, I'm getting these damn ladies in the gym working on their free throws, because the amount of points you left on the fucking board is what hurt them. Hey, look, credit to Atlanta, finally getting in the win column. But that being said, appreciate you guys hanging out. Shout out to everyone. So yeah, tomorrow we'll be back at it again with the Sparks and the Phoenix Mercury. For those who want to come hang by, we'll be late for some late night basketball. That being said, guys, make sure to like, subscribe, make sure to ring that notification bell, and I will see you guys tomorrow night for some late night WNBA action. Have a good day, everybody.